Hey friends, Keith and Christy with you. Welcome to the November Be Monthly show. Thanks for joining us today. Hey, how are you doing? We got a great show today. We've got Mr. Joe Todd on the show talking about his new award that he got, which is just, he deserves so much of that award. And also we have Liz Sherrock, Dr. Sherrock, who's going to be talking about her new move that she made downtown, restorations downtown, and Restoration Spa. We're excited for her. So, hey guys, November, we're already here. I cannot believe we've been planning our December issue, the Santa Claus issue, for the last 3 weeks, and it's
also babies.
Oh, babies. For the next 2 months, it's all about the babies. And so for all you moms who got on there online and got your baby registered, congratulations.
Good job, because that was tricky this year.
Oh my, we had 100 babies signed up in 14 minutes.
107.
Yes, 107. We always take a little bit more because some moms can't get to the shoot and all that. But 14 minutes. Fascinating. I love it. And it's our biggest issue of the year. And but this one right here, let's premiere November, because this, we always do veterans in November. And when I saw this picture, it speaks everything I wanted it to speak. Welcome home. Little girl riding on her daddy's shoulders with all the American flags right there. And we want to thank all of our troops out there and all of our veterans for your service, because without you, we wouldn't be the country we are today. So we have a great magazine. I'm so excited about this magazine because the feature story, which Debbie Neese wrote from the Bartlesville Area History Museum, talks about Radar Hill. And so for all you that lived in Bartlesville for the last 10, 15 years, you know about keepsake candles out west of town. Well, that was Radar Hill right there. This is a picture of the opening of the feature story, and there's Radar Hill, and you can see downtown Bartlesville, there's the airport. And so today, these are all homes out here, and obviously there's a lot of trees out there. What a fascinating story, and I never knew, I've lived here since 1985, that this was there. That's what I love about this magazine. We dig up the history that a lot of people don't know we're here, and so that was here. So I love it. You guys dig into that feature story. And also a fascinating thing about that Radar Hill is that the owner, the one who started Quick Trip, Chet, served right here in Bartlesville. And great story. And also Debbie talks about the Korean War too, and it's a great story. And we've got a lot of things going on. So our profile this month. You want to talk about our profile?
Well, I don't know how many people have eaten there yet, but Palace Rooms.
Palace Rooms.
It was fabulous. You need to go if you haven't been.
Adrian and David.
Yes.
They own the Palace Rooms, and they've redone that whole building. It looks so good down there.
It does.
It looks so good.
It's amazing. And more to come from them next door.
Yes.
But read about them. They have done so many good things for Bartlesville in such a short time.
Talk about what she started. It's fascinating.
Well, that wasn't really Bartlesville.
Well, no.
No. So, fun fact about Adrian is she went on Shark Tank and was picked by Mr. Wonderful and for seeking sitters. So she had lots of kids. She needed a babysitter. She was like a private detective, I believe, if I'm getting this right. And so she started her own company finding sitters for people. It's still, it's all over.
Yep.
Yeah, that's all around today. But that was back in 2013. So she's a go-getter.
Oh,
they both
is.
are. And they've got their kids are involved with Palace Rooms. So anyway, they are a great family, great.
And when she first moved here, I think they're from Sapulpa, maybe somewhere down by Tulsa. They started not croquet. Did they? What is?
No, the kids wanted to play lacrosse. And we didn't have it here, so she started it, built the program, dropped it off at the Y, and they took it over. So anyway, I'm just saying. if you need something done, you might check this couple out, and they'll get you connected.
And also, Joe's going to talk about this in the interview, but our radar heel out there was actually, we were not spying, but we were looking at Russia, and if they were firing missiles at the United States, that would be one of the places that they would see the missiles being launched, which we didn't know that. We just thought it was a weather station. And so the things you learn, and there he is right there. There's Joe Todd, his 2-page story. What a great guy. He has interviewed over 2,100 veterans, and a lot of World War II veterans, and here's Joe when he was serving in the military right there, the young Joe Todd. He served in Vietnam, and you guys are going to love this magazine this month. And also we have Liz Sherrock, Dr. Sherrock, with her restorations. Well, there's her 2-page layout right there, and all the things they do down there. And we're going to show some of the things they do down there, because I've got Botox before from her, and 3 shots on each side right there, and it didn't hurt at all. Of course, I don't do Botox now, but I just wanted to try it, and it was good. There's a baby new here. All this stuff we're going to put on the screen for you guys. And so I want to tell you guys that voting is going to start on December 2nd at noon. Everything starts at noon. So on December 2nd, you guys go to Facebook. Last year we had over 20,000 votes on our babies from 39 different states. And we had over 6,400 comments that Mwa had to go back and comment back to. So it's really a full-time job for me in the next month or so, but I love it so much. And we got a lot of things coming up in November. Of course, Veterans Day coming up, our Veterans Day parade, and what else is coming up in November here in the city? We got a lot of stuff. Well, of course, Thanksgiving. that's a given. You guys also, we always say this, go to our calendar. It's the most in-depth calendar you're going to find in Bartlesville. And anything you guys want to put in here, if you have an event coming up, it's free. Go to bartlesvillemonthly.com and put your event in there, and it's free. We love sharing all that with the community. We have over 20,000 people every month that read this magazine, and so if you guys have something going on out there, put it out there. Oh yeah, foster. I think November is foster. Is it foster care month?
I think we should cut this part out because I think it's adoption.
Is it adoption? Okay.
But anyway,
Yeah.
maybe.
We can cut that out either way. Let's see what else is going on real quick. Oh, I want to show this real quick. Now these slides show this gentleman up in Dewey. He sponsors these kids who race these little mini cars, and wait till you see some of the video of these guys racing. These kids are 9, 8, 7 years old, and they're going around this track, and so they're trying to raise money for their protective suits that they wear when they're racing. And so
Kind of a, he's trying to bring awareness to this. That's why he wrote the story for these kids. All local kids are doing really big things.
Yes.
And it's like any other traveling sport, like baseball or soccer. It costs a lot of money. These kids are very dedicated, and it maybe doesn't get the attention that the other kids get, but they're super committed, very responsible young kids, all different ages. So read that and see if maybe you could help some of them.
And also we put out there some local soldiers that were killed in the Korean War, which is a great little tribute to them and the guys that we lost during that war. And you guys are going to love the feature story. I know you are. And so for us, November is always about veterans, and we just want to say thank you to all you veterans out there who have served this country. So anyway, you guys go out and get your magazine. They're out right now, and all 140 something locations. Grab your magazine because they'll be out by the 10th of the month. And
You can always find it for free online.
Yes, go read it online, bartlesvillemonthly.com. And okay, so our first guest is Mr. Joe Todd, who is a veteran himself, who has dedicated his retirement in interviewing veterans from World War II. Now he's doing a lot of Iraqi soldiers coming back from the Iraq War, and it's just fascinating what he's done, and we're proud to have him on our show. So let's get Mr. Joe Todd out here. Hey guys, we're back, and we have Mr. Joe Todd with us. Hello, Joe. How are you, sir?
I'm fine, thank you.
Thank you for coming on our show today. Okay, we've got a lot of stuff to talk about with Joe. We've had Joe on our show before. I think 3 years ago you were on our show when we did our show out there at the mall. And if you
We
don't...
also had Joe at the History Museum.
We did,
right?
that's right, we did, 2 years ago. So Joe's been on our show before, and a lot of things have been going on with Joe over the last week or so, and we're so excited. I gotta show you this because this is so cool. Now, Joe was just awarded by the Oklahoma Military Hall of Fame. Right there, Joe. How is that? How was that?
Well, I'm humbled by it because I was up there with a Medal of Honor winner. I'm thinking, that's intimidating.
That's awesome. That's awesome.
Well, if you guys don't know, Joe, how many stories have you written on our veterans so far?
Well, I've interviewed about 2,100 veterans so far.
2,100 veterans that you've interviewed, and this is the main reason Joe was honored with this Military Hall of Fame, because of those interviews. And you've probably interviewed more veterans than anyone, I would have to say.
I don't know about
Well,
that.
I'll say it.
Oh, and here's mine.
Yes.
Wow.
Look at that. Look at that. That's just unbelievable. Congratulations, by the way.
Oh, thank
I mean,
you.
that's a great honor, and
What was that like? What was the ceremony like?
Well, it was.
we've got pictures we'll show up there
Yeah.
while we're talking
Yes.
too.
Well, I was up in my dress uniform, which I was able to get into it.
Wow, that's impressive.
And they explained each one, and then there was Colonel Evans and myself were the General Dollar Award, which means we're not military heroes. We've worked with veterans.
Nice.
Well, you've written. I mean, you've got books and books here,
We've
and
got
some
several
of
of
these.
these.
We're going to do one of these right here, especially the women of World War II. This one right here. Joe's interviewed all these women who were in World War II. A lot of them were called Rosie the Riveters.
Yes.
And a couple of stories, and also we are going to make this a feature story because I think it's fascinating that the women during World War II were just as important as the men fighting on the front lines, because without these women you wouldn't have the parts and all the things that the men were needing on the front.
They were making the tanks and airplanes and ammunition the men were using.
Yes, yes. And so without them, we wouldn't have won the war.
That's right.
At all, at all.
And I was asking him when his first
Yeah, your
interview was.
Well, that was about 1982, 1983, the first one.
Wow.
And you just thought, I'm just going to interview one person at that time? Did you just
Well, I was
think?
working for the Oklahoma Historical Society
Okay,
at the time.
okay,
And became a volunteer in 2001 when I retired.
okay.
And became an interviewer full-time there.
Yes,
Wow.
I've
okay.
been volunteering 20-some years doing interviews.
Okay, so you served in Vietnam.
Yes.
How many years were you in the service?
I was 3 years active. I stayed in the reserves. I have 23 years total service.
Wow. Now, where were you stationed at in Vietnam?
I was 1st Air Cav at Onk in the Central Highlands, Camp Evans north of Way, north, and then down by Phuc Vinh, just north of Saigon.
So you were the guy on the helicopter.
I was a helicopter mechanic.
Now, did you ever shoot one of those machine guns?
Oh yeah.
You did? That's cool. I mean, it's not cool.
Yeah.
It's not cool to shoot people, but I mean, it's just cool to be on the helicopter and be able to shoot.
And I
That's-
learned that when you're on the ground, you can run very fast and people are shooting at you. Actually, there's mortar rounds coming, but you can run very fast.
Oh my goodness.
Well-
I do love the pictures of you. Your young Joe Todd pictures are great.
And we have Joe's story in here, and we'll put that up too, because, you know, interviewing all these veterans, because I write about it in the up front, how many World War II veterans that we have left, which is about 167,000.
Yes.
Every one of those 167,000 World War II veterans are over the age of 90. So you can kind of guesstimate in your mind over the next 8 to 10 years, every one of our World War II veterans will be gone. And that's the greatest generation, saved the world right there. Those guys right there saved the world.
So if you had to pick one, who was your favorite? I know they're all different. That's hard.
Walt Sayers was interesting. He didn't want to be interviewed because he said he didn't do anything. And he finally agreed to it. He said, I was a combat engineer. I wasn't frontline troops. But he was at Omaha Beach on D-Day before the first wave blowing the obstacles. And he said we were blowing the obstacle, the Germans shooting at us so they could actually have D-Day. They had
Wow.
to get those obstacles down.
And he was one of those guys.
One of those guys, and they're the unsung heroes of D-Day. You hear about the first wave, but you
Sure.
never hear about the guys before the first wave.
Now, one of the guys that we interviewed a few years ago had his airplane that he put together on the beach. You remember who he was?
Yes, that
Harry.
was Harry Brown.
Yes, and he flew so they would shoot at him.
He was drawing fire so they could see where the German guns were.
You know what I thought was interesting about Harry? He named his plane that they were shooting at after his wife.
Yes.
I was like, what? I don't know, Harry. I don't know what I think about that. But he was a character.
Yes.
Yes. He has since passed.
Yes, he had.
Yes.
Well, he was, I think, 102.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he had a good long. I think if you outlive being shot at in an
Yes.
airplane that you named your wife, you've come over a lot of obstacles.
Now, how many World War II veterans do we have left in Bartlesville? Do you know?
Oh. I will say I've interviewed about 1,200 World War II veterans and 5 are still living.
Gosh.
I know we have Harold Turner, he's 103, he's still living. I think James, he's still living, he's only 99.
Only 99.
Lionel
Viola,
was 107.
he's 107. We probably have maybe half a dozen
Wow.
in the Bartlesville area.
Wow. Wow.
We need to hurry up.
We gotta hurry
We gotta
up.
talk to
We gotta
them.
talk to these people. Now, the feature story in this month, of course, is the Radar Hill.
Yes.
And we talked about that before the interview, and you told me some interesting things that you found out about Radar Hill after it was gone. So this was actually a radar that we could pick up if the Russians fired missiles,
We were told it was a weather station.
but it really wasn't.
One of the men I interviewed said it was a radar station to detect Soviet missiles coming over.
And that Bartlesville was one of the top, probably top 10 cities they would bomb
Prime target.
because of that radar.
Yes.
Wow.
And they had those all across the country, and we were one of them.
And fascinating, another one is that Chet, who started Quick Trip, was stationed
Yes.
right here
Yes.
in Bartlesville, which most people might not know that either. So it's a great story, Debbie Niece Road, and you guys will love that. So tell us, how much longer are you going to go, Joe, on interviewing these guys? How many more do you know for a fact that you want to interview?
Well, I'm interviewing the guys coming back from Iraq and
Yes.
Afghanistan now.
Yes.
And
Yes.
well, I'm going on 77 now. I'm going to interview as long as I can.
Good. Good. Well, you're a Bartlesville treasure.
Well, thank you.
You are. You are.
And if they want to see, if anybody wants to see some of your interviews or,
Is there a website you can go to, or is there anything that you have? These interviews?
Because Joe has a flip phone, right? No, you finally got it.
I finally got
got
it.
it right.
Okay, all right, 'cause I was gonna say, for a long time, Joe was the flip phone, which you were not the easiest to get by email. So you have an email, what are we doing to
Well,
get
it's
it
a smartphone that is smarter than I am.
Yes, we all have those.
There are catalogs at the library here.
They are,
The
okay.
Oklahoma Historical Society has a website. And the Eisenhower Library, the World War II veterans, they're not online, but you can contact the Eisenhower Library.
Okay, or message us,
Yeah. I mean,
we'll track him down.
some of the. I mean, you also have the USS Oklahoma.
Yes.
That you right here that you did. Now, how many guys that we have in Bartlesville that was on here? Do you know?
We have Pete Williams was on the Oklahoma. Let me see. He's the only one that I know of in Bartlesville.
Mm-hmm.
And there were probably
Oh,
half a
man.
dozen in Oklahoma. Now, these are the sailors and Marines that died on the Oklahoma.
How many died on that?
426 out
Wow.
of 1,200, and I've interviewed about 100 crew members off the Oklahoma.
Really?
Then wrote a book about the Oklahoma.
Wow. Love that. Love that. When you start looking at these, are just young men, 18, 19 years old,
Yes.
serving their country, and Pearl Harbor. Gosh, I love that. We have so many stories that we're going to do on some of this stuff. Okay, Joe, well, it's really an honor for you to be on our show today, and for you to win this award. I gotta show this again because this is really so cool. I mean, right there, and you deserve every bit of that.
Well, thank you.
For all you've done for our veterans, and we are so proud of you, and we're so glad you're our friend and that you're from Bartlesville. Because that's what makes Bartlesville great.
College high school.
Yes,
That's right.
college high. What year did you graduate?
64.
64. Well, we were born in 69, Joe. So there you go. Well, hey, brother, thank you so much for being on the
Thank
show.
you.
We appreciate you.
Appreciate it.
God bless you. And okay, so now we've got Liz Sherrock coming up on the show, and she's going to talk about the big move they just made and restoration. So let's bring Liz up here. Okay, guys, we are back, and we have Miss Liz Sherrock, Dr. Sherrock. Thank you for coming on the show.
It's fun to be here.
Yes, yes. Now you have,
So,
well, yes, it's fun to be on here. Are you kidding me? You've got a lot of things going on right
We
now.
have a
Yes.
lot of things going on.
And
in
we are
restoration.
so excited to premiere all this
Look how good
stuff.
this
I
looks.
mean, look at this right here. Look at this double page layout we put in here. It is unbelievable.
tells you all the things,
Yeah.
lots of
It's
things.
a lot of things.
It is.
Now, for how many years were you out there on Highway 75?
4.
4. So for all who don't know, Dr. Sherrock is the owner of Restorations, a medical spa, and you have some big news that you have moved.
We moved about 2 weeks ago. We moved downtown, so we're now located between the Arvis Bank and AAA on Frank Phillips. It's a great spot.
Oh, it's so good for
Great
you.
spot.
It's so good for you.
Has it been a big difference?
We're already seeing a lot more pedestrian traffic,
Nice.
so people just popping in.
Yep.
We don't even have our sign up, so they're just like popping in, saying, "Who are you? What are you? Why are you here?"
Now, for those who don't know, that used to be Fusion
Right.
Massage.
Right.
They took over the building there, and okay, you've got a lot of stuff that you offer down there. Now, I think it was 3 years ago, Josh, you might tell me if I'm wrong or right, but we did Botox on Keith.
Yes, we did.
Surprisingly, we thought we were going to do Christy, but she would fall on the floor and that would have never happened.
Christy
So-
doesn't like needles.
No.
We'll show that footage there, me getting that Botox. And
And
also,
it was easy.
it was easy.
It didn't even hurt.
It did not hurt at
And
all.
it was 6 shots, I think.
3 on each
3
side.
on each side.
Yep, yep. And look at the difference.
Yeah, it's already made a
3
huge
years
difference.
ago.
3 years ago.
Okay, so now we went to your place over there on Highway 75 before you moved, just to go over some of the new things that you have. So let's talk about that, and we'll show some of these, because we did the belly thing where it,
That is not the official name.
M-Sculpt Neo is
Yes.
what we
okay,
call it.
tell us what that does.
It's
Not
body
belly.
sculpting equipment. So it uses radio frequency technology to create deep heat to melt fat, but it also has high intensity focused electromagnetic energy.
And when she says high
It
intensity?
is high intensity. That's going to cause muscle contractions.
Yep.
So by doing a series of 4 treatments, you're going to get 25% more muscle volume and 30% fat loss in the area that we're treating. So you can, the most common one is abdominals,
Yep.
because that's
what
what everybody cares about most.
Yep.
And it's the most important, because when you strengthen your core, you help your posture,
Yep.
you help back pain. I mean, it's just so, you're,
Sure.
you're
Yeah.
all
And
about
we
that.
Yeah.
tried it.
We did.
Tried it, and you said you do.
I have
Done
done
it
my 4 treatments, and I have some great before and after pictures I'm about to release.
Nice.
Oh, you
I'm
really?
excited about them.
To the public?
Nice.
Well, we
Yes.
want that. We want those so we can put that on this show. I want to see those. And also, I didn't like this one particularly because I don't think it's made for men as much as it's made for
It
women.
is, it's both.
Well,
Well, it was created for women.
Okay.
So you're talking about the magic chair.
the magic
The
chair.
magic chair. It's our Mcella, which is the sister device for the M-Sculpt Neo. And what it does is it's a chair that you sit on. It sends that electromagnetic energy into your pelvis, and it causes pelvic floor muscle contractions. So you're going to strengthen your pelvic floor, which helps with bladder incontinence. Both that, if I cough or sneeze, I have to cross my legs first.
Right.
Jumping on a trampoline, that urge to go, but I can't quite get to the bathroom in time.
Yep.
Overactive bladder, so I have to get up 5 times in the middle of the night to go, or all of of those bladder symptoms are improved when you do these pelvic muscle contractions. Now, we've been telling people for years to do Kegel exercises, but the truth of the matter is they don't work very well because your brain and your pelvic floor muscles are not really well connected. Like you can say, you know,
Right.
show your
Flex.
bicep muscle. Okay, flex your abdominal floor.
You can't.
It just doesn't come naturally. So this device will create those contractions, strengthen that pelvic floor, and you now create that mind-muscle connection.
Yep.
And so that's part of your posture. If you do the two devices together, we call that core to floor, because you're going to treat your core, you're going to treat your pelvic floor. That is the best, you know, systemic.
Well, you got, I mean, let's just kind of go over some of the things that you guys do. Obviously, you do Botox.
Botox and filler is kind of where we started, and it's probably, you know, what most people know about and most people are interested in. But we do so much more.
You
besides
do.
that.
I'm looking
I mean,
at this list.
We've got everything from, you know, microdermabrasion at the low end to our Morpheus 8 treatments at the high end.
Laser hair removal. I mean, you lip fillers. You do it. You guys do it all down there. And I love the fact that you guys are now downtown Bartlesville, because downtown Bartlesville is booming. Okay.
It is hopping.
It is.
I feel like we just got like a free pass to the cool kids club.
You're welcome.
Well,
Just kidding.
welcome to downtown. We love it down
We
here.
do.
Well,
It is.
and the downtown vendor community
Yes.
is so welcoming. I mean,
Good.
many
Yes.
of them have reached out to us and just welcomed us to downtown and are
Yep.
excited that we're there.
Yep.
And yeah,
Now,
Well,
okay.
it's a great addition. I mean, and I know what would you say, like to get in right now for someone to make an appointment, is there?
it just kind of depends on what you want. Like your best segue into our business is just come in and do our free consultation.
Okay,
Good.
You know, just sit down. Generally, Melanie does them. Sometimes
Free.
I do them. But we're just going to talk to you about your skin care, your, you know, goals, and everybody's different.
Sure.
I mean, you know, some people really want lip plumping. Some people, you know, want to worry about their crow's feet. Some people, you know, really just want to age naturally and gracefully. And that's where our Morpheus 8 treatment is the best. There is no better treatment for your face and neck anywhere in the world. Like, we have the best equipment available on the market anywhere.
And nothing hurts.
Well,
That's my question.
We have ways of combating that.
Okay, I'm just getting to the obvious because I know people want to know, but I'm
Not
just like,
everything we do is pain-free now.
yeah, some things, you know, the things that are worthwhile
Some things
sometimes are the hardest to do.
No pain, no gain.
Yeah.
But
well,
we will make it as comfortable as
Okay,
possible.
good.
now, you guys are the address is 110 Southeast Springfield Boulevard, like she said, right there by Arvest Bank, and restorationsmedicalspa.com. You guys are going to boom down here. I just know you are. I mean, we have 3,000 people a day that live and work in downtown Bartlesville, and
And they seem to all walk past us on
Yeah.
Sunday.
they do, and they're going to start coming in there. And you guys, it's on page 72 and page 73 of the new magazine that's just got put out yesterday. So go read that story on them and what they're doing down there. So when you look at, I'm 53. We're 53 years old. I think you're 30.
I'm going backwards.
You're going backwards, and you've lost a lot of weight too yourself.
I have. I've
Yeah.
been doing intermittent fasting,
Yes.
and I've lost about 50 pounds
I
in
love
the
that.
last year,
I love that.
just with basic
Yep.
diet changes. It's been wonderful.
Now, what do you think the biggest thing for women when it comes to their, because you know, there's so much product out there. You know, I always buy stuff for her mom when I go to Walmart and all the skincare stuff. What do you say about all the? I think it's just a lot of money wasted.
There is a lot of money wasted in this industry. The products that we carry are all going to be medical grade. So basically, you can't buy those without a prescription. So we're going to have medical grade products that can penetrate deep beneath the skin. Now, that, you know, according to the FDA, if they sell it Clinique or your over-the-counter products, they can't penetrate the tissue below the skin and be effective there. So what we have available is more expensive, but it's going to do a better job and give you a better quality.
Right. So at the end, when you're spending that money, it's going to work out better.
Spend it on something that's going to work.
That's going to work, exactly. Well, we are so happy for you guys that you've moved downtown, and what you guys do down there is great. And your partner down there, who does?
Melanie.
Melanie.
She has been we've been working together for 20 years.
I love that.
So, you can come in and ask her anything. And she does great consults, and she's just very sensitive to your needs and goals and your budget, right?
We all have a budget.
We all start somewhere, and
now for
we wanna stay in
Botox
that.
and stuff like that, it has to be done by a doctor, right?
That's correct.
Okay.
I do all the injectables.
Okay, you do all the injectables, great. And she did a good job. Good job. Anything else you want to ask, Dr. Lyle?
No, I'm just amazed. It makes me want to go right now.
Well, you guys, you need to really look at this and see all the services they provide, because they do so much more stuff down there than you think they do. And congratulations.
And come sit on our magic chair.
Yeah,
We did.
It's fun.
we did.
We
And
did. That's all I'm going to say.
I did the stomach thing, and when it just makes your abs, I didn't know I had abs that deep.
Yeah.
It is.
Intense.
That is the truth.
It is intense.
Yes,
It
it
is
is.
intense. And we can dial, we dialed it way up for you because we want you to get the full experience. But we can dial it up and we can dial it down.
It was because you could see all his muscles.
Oh, his whole body came up off the
Oh,
They
my
were
table.
just
gosh.
like, wow, look at that.
It was great. Thank you.
Should have had that on video, Josh.
I know, we will get that. Now, okay, go to their restorationsmedicalspa.com. Their phone number is 331-2329 to get your appointment down there and get your
Just in
free.
time for Christmas. You could
Yes.
It's a great
Husbands.
Husbands.
Well,
Great.
gift. To be sweet, how you do it. Don't
Well,
say
here I am.
you need a little something, something. Yeah, but
Okay.
maybe
We have a number of women who'd be thrilled if their
That's
husband
true.
just gave them the
That's
freedom.
That's true, that is
yeah,
true.
let the wife come in and say this is
This is what I
this
want.
This is what I
for
want.
Christmas.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, well, hey, doctor, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Thank
Fabulous.
Thank
Thanks
you.
for having me.
Yes,
It was,
of course.
It's been fun.
Okay, well, that's the show today. We appreciate you guys joining us. We had Joe Todd, which did amazing with the Military Hall of Fame, and of course, Dr. Sherrock being on the show. We appreciate you guys joining us. We love this city. We love what we do. You guys go out and get the magazines. They're out right now. Get your copy because they will be gone in the next 10 days. Thanks for joining us again. God bless, and we'll see you down the road.